Hi again, my name is Fathom and I am the founder of Other Fiber Creations, and today we are going to do essentially a week of market prep, which is a fun time. I'm so out of practice for doing videos like this. Surprise. What is it? If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. My name is Fathom. I am a 26-year-old crochet business owner, and I run this channel to show you all the things I do. You might be new here from seeing the short series I'm doing leading up to the Madison Street Festival. I'm hoping to film that again this year. And yeah, today's goal, it is Sunday. We're going to do this video Sunday to Saturday because that's my work week. Sunday is sort of my refresh day. It is usually the day I take the slowest. I make a point I don't finish any projects today. I will basically finish them, but no sewing, no weaving in ends. That's a future me problem. We are going to clear my desk. We're going to do all that good stuff. So I'm going to take you with me and we're going to go ahead and get this day moving, shall we? Yay! I'm at the desk now. Wow! Is my voice dying? Yes. Do I care? Not particularly. This is the result of yesterday's market. It is a disaster in a bag, which is fine. I have a lot of editing to do. I had to process the thoughts in my brain because I've realized a large portion of my job is just to stare at screens, like the one I'm staring at now to film and talk to you. I just do that for hours at a time. I don't know how I feel about it because my favorite part of my job is the actual crochet portion, but we make do. I think my goal for today is that I want to take what's in here and just make some parts so that I have some easy wins tomorrow. My mentality is that if I take a day of rest, I make things I want to make, things that don't take a lot of brain power, etc. I don't make myself sew because that's not my favorite part. I want to be able to focus on the crocheting portion. It means that I start off my actual work week on a Monday with an easy win. Lots of things to sew together so I feel accomplished. So that's what we're going to work on. I think first we're going to work on, sea slugs. They are essentially little tubes with chains. I looked at some photos of crochet sea slugs and I was like, wow, I can figure that out. You just look at the front, you count how many stitches, you figure out an increase that looks good to you, and then you make a tube. I am not a master at crochet. People keep telling me that in markets, humble brag, hashtag flex or whatever. It's that I think very mathematically, and so once I can count stitches on a photo, I can figure things out. I don't know if other people do that. That might just be me. I had 4 I finished last night before I passed out. Nice. I have a little bit of white yarn left to make 1 or 2 more. Great. And the rest of this bag is just chenille scraps that I'll use to make the fluffy perimeter, because essentially this will have a little piece of fluff around it. I'm using a new editing software, so I'll see if I can insert photos while I'm talking about it. If not, sorry, you're not going to see anything but me. You're going to have silence while you look at it. It's fine. I'm stalling. I know myself. It's what I'm doing. It's what I always do when I film these videos. Once I finish getting those put together, I think I'll move on to baby dragons, but we'll see where we go from here. I'm going to stop stalling, get to work, and we'll check in when I feel like it. Yay. So it is around 2:13 p.m. I have finished all the slugs I can from the little ball of yarn. The answer was 1 more. Shocking, I know. I also made 14 dragon wings in this yarn. It is loops and thread skinny chenille in the color tigerfish. I try to have 10 baby dragons at a time in each color, because by the time I finish making the 10, another color is sold out. So I'm always making baby dragons. It kind of just happens. So I prepped a couple of bodies. I can feel the day is kind of starting to weigh down on me a little bit. I had a market in a heat wave yesterday. Makes sense. I plan on kind of trying to not hard. I'm talking. Can my phone not go off? I'm trying to not hard push productivity and get it done for today. And it's just making some parts. And so I don't feel too bad that it's starting to be like, I need to change tasks. For now, I'm making a late lunch because I had breakfast at like 10-ish, but it was a small breakfast, like some frozen tater tots, not much. And so I'm going to have basically homemade nachos, easy enough to do. And then I'm probably going to pivot to prepping some more of my baby sea turtles. I had a version of these in a different yarn that I ended up not liking as much, so I switched to making them out of Bernat Blanket. Just 10-ish grams of a shell color and about 30 grams of my body color. Not bad at all. So I'm going to pivot to making a bunch of heads and fins. I have one turtle done. This is turtle 2 without being assembled. And I like to have 10 of anything I can on bulk making. Like, the dragons are one of a kind. The big mushroom sprites are one of a kind. The baby clowns are one of a kind, which it's baby clown prep season. Here's another baby clown. I say another because I have one I'm looking at behind the camera in the drawer. But things like that, I make one of and it's done. Things like the turtles, I list them in bulk and I list them as mystery color because I use the yarn on hand and I'm not going to be able to keep track of those colors because I go with what's on sale or what's donated to me. You know? Like, I don't get to pick my yarn most of the time. Not most, like half the time. And I don't want it to be that I have to constantly make listings because as a chronically exhausted disabled person, I struggle with getting the listings up. When I get listings, it's a win. So, we're gonna make do. That's my point. For now, I'm gonna go finish making myself late lunch. I'm gonna watch Game Changer on Dropout. And we'll see where the rest of the night takes us. I'll post back later and let you know what I got done. Thumbs up emoji. It's the next morning. I am so tired. My body was not agreeing with me last night. I know it's because it's almost that time. If you know, you know. And also just because my colon hates me. But I got a lot done yesterday before wrapping up. So let me try and kind of summarize. We got 4 dragon bodies and the wings done, and additionally, 3 more pairs of wings with no bodies. So this will probably be a goal for today, is finish 3 more dragon bodies. And then on top of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shells with legs for baby turtles. And then additionally on top of that, 1, 2 shells with legs and heads for baby turtles. That is a total of 9 baby turtle shells. Bleh. 9 sets of legs, 2 heads. I made 9 because I already have one done. That'll bring my total to 10, which 10 is kind of that sweet number for things that sell fast in that less than 20 category, so great. My hope is to finish making the dragon bodies, get them in my sewing bin over here. It's kind of a yarn bowl and sewing bin situation going on. It's also the bin I use for my shorts of what I've finished each day leading up to the Madison Street Festival, which, yay, I'll have to empty it and then refill it at the end of the night, which is fine. So I'm hoping my AC is making noise. It does that. to dragon and then finish the heads for these turtles, and if I have time, start on the bodies today. It is Monday, which means I don't have anything additional besides wanting to get my kitchen cleaned up because tomorrow night I go hang out with friends, and since they all pay for dinner, I normally bring dessert, which means I will have baking to do, I guess is the best way to put it, and I'll want to have a clean kitchen to bake in. So that's kind of the schematics of the day, the itinerary, roughly, if you will. and let's go ahead and get started and see what I can do today, and I'll catch up with you later. Pew pew pew. Happy Tuesday. I am so tired. I passed out. Why do I have a bruise? Sorry, I'm everywhere. I passed out at like 9 p.m. last night. I am not kidding. I was sitting here, struggling to keep my eyes open. I blinked and my head was on the desk, and I was like, I should go to bed. I went straight from here with my light still on, my laptop still playing, my living room light still on, everything still just powered on. Passed out for like 30 more minutes. Woke up and I was like, I don't want to be awake. Why is everything still on? So I shuffled around, got all the lights off, filled my water, and then slept hard from 9 to 7. So it's like almost 9 a.m. now. It is exactly 9:01 a.m. now. I just took a shower. I haven't had breakfast yet because I'm trying to shift my sleep schedule to later. Because one thing about doing markets every weekend is that some of them have me get up at like 5:30 a.m. in order to be ready to walk out the door the time I need to be. Some of them, I need to be able to stay awake until midnight to get everything put away. So depending on the market, I need to adjust when I wake up and go to sleep. So I have to slowly shift my schedule over the week, which means eating later and later or eating earlier and earlier. It's weird. It's fine. But let me show you what I got done yesterday, because it's so much I couldn't keep it fully off screen. So let me pick those up real quick. So this is 7 baby turtles on the bottom here. 7 baby dragons in the middle. And you're like, in the middle? That's on top. No. There is one bunny sea slug hidden up here on top. I did a lot of sewing yesterday. Let me just put it bluntly. I spent most of my day doing this. It was great. It was very productive feeling. I got the kitchen cleaned up, so I'm gonna make some shortbread here in a little bit for I call it D&D, it's Pathfinder. It's Pathfinder 2nd edition. I play a 16-year-old witch druid, essentially, that was raised by raccoons. It's great. But yeah, I want to get ready for that. Today's goal is to finish up the last 2 turtles that I can see sitting next to me, because I have 7 of the 9 I showed you yesterday done. And then I want to pivot to baby clown parts, because August 1st is going to sneak up on me. It's already starting to. It is July 7th when I'm filming this clip. Sorry to date it, editing Fathom. Suck it. But I release the Halloween collection, or at least I try to release as much of it as I can on August 1st, with some follow-up on September 1st based off the last bit I get done. And I can feel that it's sneaking up, and I'm not getting the things I want to get done because I'm getting distracted. So I'm going to focus on the clown parts after I make the turtle stuff. So we're done talking. I'm going to stop procrastinating, because I also have multiple shorts to edit, parts of this video to edit, and emails to answer for the event that I help organize at Straight to Ale at Campus 805. If you know it in Huntsville, you know it. So yeah, I'm gonna go get actually started on my workday, and I will check back in with you later. Pew 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 pew. It is around 5:29, 5:30-ish. Still Tuesday. I have friends coming in like a half hour to pick me up for game. The bruise is getting really dark. I've gotta focus. I'm so sorry. I don't even have an ADHD diagnosis. I'm just like this. I got the kitchen cleaned. I made 6 dozen cookies.
Huh?
Is that enough for 5 people?
Huh?
I have no self-control. Luckily, I have friends coming to visit that you'll get to see later on in this video, hopefully, probably, maybe, so they can help me finish the cookies, hopefully, probably, maybe. I have not finished a lot, but I've worked on parts. So we have a keychain I finished. There we go. It's a little star. That was not related to anything I talked about earlier on. This was just sitting in my box of parts, and I wanted to finish it, so I did. We also finished another clown baby. I love my little clown babies. They make me so happy. I've been looking forward to getting to start making them again all year. I'm hoping fingers crossed, to make some clown toddlers, which will just be the same pattern but in a bigger yarn, which I think would be such a cute idea. So that's the hope. We finished one clown baby. And then I'm working on sewing him now. I'm hoping to finish him before friends come. He's my first 2-point hat of the year. And then this little guy, the hat's not sewn on, he's just all bunched together so I don't lose the parts. I have 2 more with hats I finished. So this kind of fiery and black one, and this one. If you can't tell, all the ones with the black so far are made with the same ball of yarn, which is the Big Twist Living collection in inclusivity. Rest in peace, Joanne. I miss you already. Their living line was a bunch of pride yarns, so they had like a trans flag one, an ace flag one, all that good stuff. And this was their rainbow one. Why did the word rainbow leave my mind? Oh my god. Am I having a stonk? Bame snond call the stonkulence? I am feeling pretty good. I think that even though I didn't finish a lot, I did a lot today. That's kind of a thing. Surprise, we're going on a tangent with Fathom.
Wow.
So, I, being a disabled person who has been having my disabilities flare up more as I've gotten older, have had to get used to the idea that I will not accomplish as much as other people do. I'm just messing with a random phone stand off camera for sake of fidgeting. I have always been a very big perfectionist. I was a mathlete, a spelling bee champion. I did a ton of science fairs. I helped tutor in English. I was a valedictorian. Blech. I have always been a very big, attention focused person. I want everything to be perfect, and I'm very nice when someone else messes up because they couldn't know better. They might be having a hard day. Maybe they have a disability stopping them. But not for me. I am my own worst critic, and I am so mean to myself. I do the cracking of the whip on myself. Wow. Who let me have a microphone? My point is that I am my own biggest critic and bully, which everybody says, everyone is. It's kind of part of being a human. But with that, for me especially, I am my own worst hate crime. Because I am disabled, I have different limitations than other people. I can't drive, so I have to rely on other people to get anywhere. It's why my friends are coming to get me tonight. I have to rely on people to be able to go to markets and sell things. I only have my career because everyone around me loves and supports me enough to take me to these events. Maybe it's because they feel a sense of duty to me as well, but nonetheless, they do it. And because of that, as someone who feels like a burden a lot of the time when I ask for help, because I should be able to do these things in my mind, because when I was younger and was better at masking and my symptoms hadn't gotten as bad as they are, I could do those things. I've driven before. I can't drive anymore. And so I feel like a burden, and so I beat myself up constantly. When I finish nothing in a day, I am so mean to myself mentally. In days like this, where like, I've only finished a keychain and a clown. That's not how a clown sits upright, but oh well. I have to battle the 2 wolves inside of me. One says, love yourself, don't be ableist. The other says, but what if I was anyways? All this to say, I'm trying to be nicer, and so I'm acknowledging I did pretty good today. I made a mess in my kitchen after all the baking, but that's alright. I think that we will check back in probably tomorrow, because I don't see anything that I would do tonight that needs a check in, unless my character dies and I'm crying for some reason. Free clickbait, crying thumbnail, not clickbait, not sexual, whatever the meme is. I'm so tired. But yeah, I'll check back in, and we'll figure out tomorrow's goal when I get there. Good night. 2 jinxed the party last night. It's fine. Luckily, no one actually died in the game last night. I'm the main healer, So I had to deal with 4 separate times of people getting to 0 hit points. If you don't know how D&D and Pathfinder work, this is going to make no sense. Sorry to alienate my audience. But yeah, essentially people went down to where they could have died over and over again. In my defense as the main healer, I told them I had no healing on me available that I could do unless we went and did a long rest, and they went forward anyways. But we survived. That's what matters. We survived something higher challenge rating than we should have. I'm happy with it. I did not really crochet during game. I expected as much because that's how it works. And so today, we're going to pivot like I do every day because I can't keep on one task. This is the yarn I use for my bumble babies. Essentially, they're little guys with bobble stitches for arms and legs. I have moth babies, flutter babies, and bumble babies. They're patterns I'm working on getting written down, okay? Listen, I have them written. Essentially, when I write patterns, I draw them first, like it's a actual sketch of the shape I want. And then I do it's a stitch chart, but it's not a stitch chart. If you've seen a stitch chart, you know what I'm kind of describing, but I don't use those symbols because I don't know them and they confuse me. I draw them in Fathomese, if you will. Then I translate them to roughly what I think I mean in this book. This is my book of first draft patterns. It has the gist of what I mean, and it skips things like chain one at start of round, slip stitch to end of row. Like it skips those things I do every round, and I never clarify them because I know myself. And then finally, I have a separate book that I will take this version from and make it again and formalize the writing into the actual patterns you all receive. I pattern test for myself to an extent, but I don't. Like, it takes me a while to get the pattern through the translation process because of how my brain works. Because the picture in Fathomese is how I view patterns. I view it as architecture being built, not as words that you all can process, you know? So, long story short, I'm trying to get these written. They'll be out eventually. You don't even know what they look like because I haven't made it yet, but you'll see. So, the goal I have today is make some of these using the yarn I have left over here and complete sewing together the clown babies that have heads. If I have some extra time, I'll work on some slugs. I don't think I will though, because it is 7:45 a.m. Because it is Wednesday, I have like a weekly schedule I follow. Wednesdays I run errands and then I go help clean for an elderly couple who are family friends of a friend of mine. So I played with friend last night for Pathfinder, and now I go see her. I dropped a needle. Now I go see her parents today to go clean, make small talk because they don't get out of the house very much, and just kind of be a social contact for them. I find that the mom, she has a little bit more difficulty than the dad does. And we've bonded a bit over like losing autonomy of yourself, having people not think you're capable of doing things because like I'm incapable of driving. And so sometimes people view that I'm not capable of going places on my own. They'll mistake one thing you're incapable of and infantilize you for more than one. So we've had a lot of talks about that and how it can feel to cope with that as symptoms get worse. And the dad and I, we get along. We both love classical music, etc. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know them over the past year or so. And so I just go, I don't like deep clean or anything. It's like, let me make your bed for you as a thank you for driving me to go put cash in the bank or for going to drop some inventory off. Little things like that. That'll be in like 4-ish hours for me. So, 4 hours before, however long they keep me there for the day, coming home exhausted is usually how it goes because Tuesday plus Wednesday socialization leaves me kind of drained and wanting to recharge for the weekend markets. So, we'll see how much I get done. Who knows? I'm sorry I keep looking off to the side. My face is right here on my camera, and so it's a little bit difficult to ignore the movement out of the corner of my eye. Oopsie. I'm gonna go get to work. I will check in at some point today, whether it's before I leave to show you stuff or whether it's after I get home. Probably before I leave because I'm going to be tired, but we'll see. Yay! Happy Thursday, gang. I am so tired and everyone's messaging me. I help organize an event for Straight to Ale Campus 805 here in Huntsville. And by help organize, I contact all the vendors. I organize the email list. I'm like, here's the information so that everybody's on the same page. So I had to manage all of that this morning. It's only 73 people on the email list. It's not that many to organize, right, guys? Right? I always tell people the cost of community is inconvenience, and I live by it, and I'm doing my best to stick to that motto. But I was surprisingly productive this morning and last night. This is random yarn. I'm moving to the side so I can pick up the bin. Those are finished things. Here is all the parts we have to sew together. We have 5 bumble babies, 2 clown babies, 2 moth babies, a couple of slugs hidden in here. And why, you may ask, am I making so many parts and not sewing any of them? Because, my dear viewer, it is Therapy Thursday. Bwah, 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 bwah. Every Thursday I see my therapist because I have a lot of mental disabilities. Surprise! I have extreme trauma. Welcome to the channel if you're new. So I'm supposed to see her every Thursday from my time zone 1 to 2, her time zone 2 to 3. It is like 30 minutes until I get set up for that, because I do it digitally since we're not in the same state currently. And I want things to do with my hands while I'm talking, because if I just sit there, I space out, because I'm like, yes, this is a video I'm watching. Nothing's real. I'm not real. She's not real. Nothing. And that doesn't work well when you're trying to have deep, meaningful conversations, especially about new medications and how they're affecting you. So instead, I prep work. I am hoping that they'll get answered in a minute. I'm filming, and I have to prioritize myself sometimes as much as inconvenience is important. I am hoping to finish at least the bumble babies during therapy, if not more than that. It has been a rocky week on how productive I have felt. Like yesterday with the cleaning. I felt great about how much cleaning I got done. It was really nice that I got to get my errands done. I got some cash in the bank. I got to run by and make sure that my businesses that I am inside of, at least 2 of them, are stocked, which is good. The one is closest to me. That felt nice to get that all situated. I've gotten to do some recuperation on the front of hanging out with friends. I have a lot of cleaning to do because tomorrow night I have friends coming from out of state who are going to be staying here for the weekend, which I'm very excited for. I've missed my friends. I haven't gotten to see them all year. But that means I have to get... Nope, I'm shoulding on myself. Should, have to, and need. We gotta reword that. I'm supposed to talk about that in therapy. Haha. I would like to get it cleaned up because I would rather they not have to sleep on a floor covered in little pieces of fluff from yarn. I'm a disaster. It's fine. So it's busy and I'm keeping up, but it means that I feel like I'm not being productive because in a lot of the work I'm doing for my business, I'm filming it as I finish stuff. In the stuff that's not relevant to the business, I'm not filming as much of. So that means that when I don't do much business-wise because I'm getting everything else done, I don't feel effective. But I am. And I'm allowed to prioritize my real life over my job. I'm going to stop rambling at this point. I think that I'm doing great work. The 2 little finished things I pulled out were a little scrap to pie out of ends that were too short for sea slugs. Yeah. I'm gonna go chill out, have a snack before therapy, get some water, because hydrate or dehydrate, that goes for you too, person watching. I see you through the camera. Drink your water. That's right, drink it. Good. And yeah, I'm going to do that, get situated, And I'll check back in probably sometime tonight. We'll see if future me remembers that or not. Okay? Mwah. Pew pew pew, all that good stuff. It's Thursday evening at like 5:30 p.m. I may have gotten distracted. So instead of sewing all the parts I meant to, I did sew some, and by some, I mean literally one guy that I just threw on the floor. I finished one Bumble Baby. And then I had anxious energy, and I was like, you know what? What if I just wrote a pattern right now? What if I just did that? So I did that. Kind of. I'm working on it. So I skipped the drawing stage, and that was my mistake. When I draw my patterns with like all my sketchy nonsense, I do it, and as soon as I get it onto paper and words, I throw away the sketch. But the sketch makes it so much easier for me. This time I didn't, and so I'm not getting... Surprise, you're in my chest now. I'm not getting the shape the way I want it. Specifically, these are going to be strawberry sidekicks. If you've seen some of the stuff on my website, I have pickle pals and blueberry buds, which I think are really cute. It's just little fruit shapes, because somebody joked about having pickles. They sold out right away. I made the blueberries. They started selling really fast, so I've been making produce. I made this guy first. I used leftover white from some slugs from before, and I like how the white looks, I think. He ended up a little bit smaller than I wanted, so I tried again, and that ended up with this one, who I like the size of better. And I tried some yellow, because when you look at like a photo of strawberries, the seeds are kind of yellowish, and the yellow is not my favorite. He'll still go for sale at markets, but I'm not thinking I'm going to stick with the yellow in future detailing. I think I'm going to go back to the white detailing. I've written down what I've done on the bigger shape. It's a disaster. When I write in this book, it is nonsensical. The first page looks so much cleaner because I knew the first part was right. It was a matter of making the top bigger. I went ahead and color coded it, so I have red for the body. I have green for the leaves. I haven't even tried the leaves yet. The leaves are a future Fathom problem, you know? And then I have yellow for just additional detailing / embroidery. And I'm hoping to get this written. I'll get this drafted, and then I'll make it for a bit, because I personally... It's not like that I pattern test in the traditional sense. Like, I have a couple friends, they'll try some of my stuff. Most of them don't make plushies. And those that do make plushies sell at the same markets as me, and so they don't want my patterns, because then we'll just all have the same stuff. So instead, I write the pattern, make it a bunch until I feel confident that my notes are correct, and then I leave it, and I come back to it a couple weeks later. Because my memory is so fuzzy that I will have to follow this pattern as it's written. And if something's wrong with it, I will scratch it out and I will try again until it feels right. So we're going to try and duplicate this body with these details. That's my hope. Should this be what I'm doing right now? We don't need to talk about my responsibilities, okay? It's fine. My desk is a mess. My brain is a mess. I'm excited for Friends. I also painted my nails. It's a black base coat with some shimmery overcoat that I use for the bigger eyes. I use construction paper and glitter paint for the small eyes that I do, like the 16 millimeters. And then I hole punch in order to get the eyes to fit in so I can get whatever colors I want. I make them in batches, and so then I'll end up like, oh no, I made 7 of pink eyes for some reason. I guess I'm going to have mismatched eyes because I don't want to make more pink, or I don't have that shade of pink construction paper to put on the back anymore. Whoopsie. Could I buy ones with colored paper with them? I could, but I'm lazy. And by lazy, I mean a perfectionist, okay? Words have meaning, I know. I use nail polish for the bigger eyes, and I'll test combinations on my hand. And I'm liking this kind of like bronzy colorway. I think I'm going to save it to use on one of the Forest Guardians. The pattern's by somebody. Sorry, Editing Fathom. Look up a pattern for what I'm talking about. For now, technically my workday ended like an hour and a half ago, but I'm a workaholic. I'm probably gonna wrap it up a little bit. I'll pattern design for fun tonight versus focusing in on getting things done for the market on Saturday. Tomorrow is tagging items day and finishing cleaning the apartment for friends to show up, which you'll get to see eventually. For now, that's going to be the check-in for the night. I literally only finished the Bumble Baby. That was the chair, not me, I swear. Okay, I'm not farting. But I only finished the Bumble Baby. Thumbs down. I might finish sewing more tonight just to have more for today's check-in video leading up to the Madison Street Festival, which will be later this year. If you want to see last year's Madison Street Festival video, that's up here. It's been so long since I've been able to say that and point to the corner of the screen. It's wild. I'm going to stop rambling. I'll check in with you tomorrow at some point. Yay! We're working in the living room today. Ooh, it is Friday morning still, I think. It's like 9:30 a.m. I woke up at 7, so I've been working a little bit already. I still have big bucket of parts. If I happen to get to sewing anything today, great. My main goal is this is kind of a way to pace myself because when I do housework, I typically will do a task until I burn out, and then I just can't do anything the rest of the day. But when I break up the tasks with, I go do a certain amount of time doing it, and then I have to crochet for a bit, it helps. And since there's a market tomorrow, which you'll come with me for, I'm hoping, planning on, then that means I can sew stuff together during the market instead. The goals I have for today are numerous, which is a little bit stressful off the bat. I need to finish cleaning. I said need. I'm not supposed to do that. That's a therapy thing. You shouldn't, need, or have to on yourself. I would like to complete cleaning the kitchen. That means wiping down the oven, finishing the dishes that are dirty, maybe cleaning out the fridge, depending. I have a big stack. I'm looking at my chores. A big stack of boxes I need to break down if I want to take them out. I fixed it. I would like to take them out, which means that to complete that task, I would need to break them down. So I have the boxes to get out of the apartment to make more room. I have the bathroom. It's not a mess. It's that over time, like when I'm doing makeup, when I clean the brush out, it sprays the eyeshadow like all over the sink. There's like a fine powder residue over time on the wall because this may be TMI, I'm sorry. When I'm really in a rush and I want to dual wield, I will sit down, and while I'm using the bathroom, I will not touch anything while I'm doing it. Like, I'll quickly do some eyeshadow. Like, or quickly wash my face. And then I will handle stuff, thoroughly wash my hands, and then continue. Like, those two tasks do not touch each other. But if I'm in a rush early in the morning before a market, I do what I gotta do. And so, like, there's some eyeshadow on the wall from, like, when you're doing stuff and you're holding your palette and you tap off the excess, you know? Does that make sense? Am I making sense? I don't care if I am. Good luck following along. So I have cleaning the bathroom, which is basically wiping down the walls, wiping down the bathtub, wiping down the sink. And then just getting bedding cleaned so that when they get here, I can be like, here are clean blankets and pillows. They already are mostly done, but it's a matter of like getting it folded, getting the last of it kind of done and out of the way. And after that, it's basically just organizing space. I've done a lot this past week to get ready because this setup that I'm sitting in right now is entirely different than it was at the start of the week. When I got my desk like a week and a half ago, I reorganized my entire living room and it was a disaster zone for a bit. So the fact I'm able to sit out here and work for a day is a plus. I have some more strawberry sidekicks that I'm working on because when I make something, I make it in batches like we've talked about in my shorts before. And I am just using up the whole skein of yarn, and that's how many I'll make for this first batch. It's looking like it'll be 6 of them, which is pretty good per skein. I sell my produce pals. That's the entire name of the line. Surprise. My produce pals are $12 a piece. So that means that I get about $72. I paid $5 for the yarn for each skein. And then some stuffing, the eyes, etc. adds up to about $1 a piece for each one, so I profit about $6 per plushie, which isn't that bad. I'll take it. For now, I didn't do that math right, it just hit me, but oh well, it's too late, I'm past it. I'm gonna focus back in on cleaning. I will try and get some B-roll so you can see the kind of task I'm doing. I am in PJs because I showed you my foot for free. Don't film that. Don't film that. I'm filming that. What's wrong with me? Don't clip that. That's the phrase I'm looking for. I'll try and show you what I'm working on. I do a pretty good job keeping my house relatively clean, but sometimes with the chronically low spoons I have to pick, am I feeding myself or am I having a clean apartment? And feeding myself will always win. Sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to work and I'll check in with you maybe later possibly, and to make sure I end the video. Pew pew pew. I think we're gonna wrap up this video here because my friends get here in like a half hour-ish and I want to be able to focus on them before having to be in work mode for tomorrow and for next week's video. I say next week. Let's hope I finish editing by then. But yeah, I think we got a good amount done this week. I got a lot of stuff tagged as what I just finished doing. I got some stuff listed for the Halloween drop. We got a ton of parts made, a new pattern written, a lot of stuff just done in general. And my kitchen's clean, which is always a plus. If you want to see other things I make around here, stick around, hit subscribe, leave a comment telling me what was your favorite thing that I talked about or did this video. I'm really bad at asking for engagement. I'm like, yeah, leave a comment. On what? Figure it out. It's been so long since I made a video, which means I have to think of a question of the day, which I haven't done in so long. What's the farthest you've gone to visit a friend? That's the question of the day. For me, the farthest I've gone was 14 hours from Atlanta to my hometown when I went to go visit some friends after having moved across the country. Everyone, when they think across the country, is like, yeah, New York to California or vice versa. No. I went north to south, not east to west, if that makes sense. So yeah, the farthest I've gone is 14 hours. And I know for a fact that my highest one is going to get bigger next year when I go to my best friend's wedding. You can hear more about my best friend up here, back when she moved to Arkansas. I still miss her, and I'm going to be at that gosh darn wedding. I will find a way. So yeah, tell me about your favorite time you visited to travel a friend. Visited to travel? What is wrong with me? Also remember that if you want to support me in other ways, you can find my patterns on Etsy, Ribbler, and my own website. I recommend Ribbler or my website out of those. If you want to buy my personal, like my work, the actual physical items, that is my website exclusive. You can also find me on social media. If you subscribe here, you can join the YouTube subscriber blanket. If you join me on Instagram, you can join the Instagram follower blanket. That's a new one. Ooh. And yeah, I'm going to go start on dinner so it's ready when they get here because I'm very excited. It's been almost a year since I've seen them. Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.